if there are people of yours, the servants or family, that you consider friends and allies, we would do our utmost not to hunt them. This place you speak of, this fungal jungle, are there only your allies living in that place?
Our allies are all the sentients that live there. However, there are non-sentients, certainly.
What type of creatures are these non-sentients?
Look back to Zyn.
Rilinid will clear his throat, and he'll actually reach into his cloak and pull out one of the many sort of crude maps he has regarding a layout of the fungal jungle and the surrounding territories, and sort of do that, and he'll put that on the ground and say, "First off, the sentients. We, of course, are drow, but there are also deep gnomes, Zvirf Neblin, who pass through. In addition, there are large, humanoid-sized mushrooms known as the Zan, who are sentient and allies, in addition to spiders the size of humanoids known as Skis-Raw, who live in the northeastern section, whereas the Zan live in the central left. As for those who are not our allies, there are pale hunters, sort of frowns, sort of reptilian type of birds that fly through and hunt not on sight but on something else. There are numerous other forms of lizards and other life forms living within the area. Our territory, as you would see on the map, extends in the northwestern region. Should you feel so threatened by being anywhere near us, far to the south there is a mountain which extends nearly to the ceiling, which you would be completely alone."
The cloaker floats about, peering down at the map. Sort of its tail sort of slowly, twitching a bit as it sort of, reaches out and sort of touches the map with it. The place seems large. If there is indeed these pale hunters and other non-sentient creatures that we can hunt for nourishment, then there shouldn't be a problem to have us not engage with your allies. She floats about. We wish to create a village, as I said. That is our utmost concern. If we can do it far away and not be a problem for you, or if you want to allow us into your lands, either option would be appreciated.
Alauneari nods and looks and says, "As subjects under our rule, you will of course be subject to our laws to some degree."
The eyes sort of thin a bit. We do not consider ourselves subject under the House of Vytharia rule, I'm afraid. We will try our best to respect your laws and your people.
Alauneari seems rather annoyed. As she then looks to the other and says, "Very well. Let me converse with my family for a bit."
Cloakers float up a bit. Seemingly talking amongst themselves also.
Look over her shoulder to Rilinid. Try to get him to join the others. As she signals with her hands, "Let's just kill these creatures. They're worthless."
Are you doing the sign language?
Yep.
Just doesn't understand that.
Well, I guess.
If they do not want to serve, they will only be adversaries.
Zyn just frowns at that message. While he might have thought the same thing before, he is quite surprised that these things actually can talk because he didn't quite believe Rilinid before. But now they are quite interesting.
If we allow them to stay here, sooner or later they will spawn. I don't know how many, but some. And then we will be swarmed in these things, who all of a sudden will remember that they do not consider us their masters, and they will want to hunt and eat the meat that they are forbidden. So let us not allow these exiles the chance. If they're going to give us nothing we cannot take, there's no reason to keep them alive.
Zyn will sign back that if we can make them appreciate our protection and our having a spot in our territory, then perhaps we could just send them on our enemies.
Alauneari shakes her head. She doesn't think that these things will appreciate our protection at all. She thinks they would simply like to build a village and then hunt. And she doesn't really see any need for them to have protection, if not from us. As a matter of fact. And she also doesn't think they would make very good slaves, if what Rilinid has told her about them is true. She'd rather just get rid of the problem now and not have to think about it more. They said the way they came from is collapsed. None will come looking for them. There are only 3 of them. Let's eliminate the problem now before it becomes a big problem. Alauneari feels that there are already enough players in the fungal jungle. If we're going to let them live anywhere, we're going to send them out away, towards the gnomish lands.
Send them to the Aurochs. That would give them enough to hunt for a while.
Yeah, but Alauneari doesn't want them to hunt because that will make them multiply, and then we'll have a whole million of them on our hands, and she doesn't want that. She thinks that if their population here is not going to give any benefit to us, then we should just kill them. They're clearly not want to serve us, and really I have no patience for such creatures. They seem simple-minded, and I'd rather not find out more about them. Let us just end the problem here. Next to rain. Support.
Rain seems to be thinking not really signing too much to any of you, but clearly paying attention.
I will then ask the question, what would we gain from letting them live?
Rilinid will sign back I have no desire to fight them, primarily because they can fly, and any sort of effectiveness that, and Rilinid will point at Rae'nkalar, he would be greatly diminished, for his sword cannot reach them. And I certainly have no desire, and he points at Zyn, to see Zyn running around screaming in terror, clawing at his face because of the horrific attacks that these induce upon the mind.
So you think we're unable to?
I did not say unable. I'm saying it's not worth it. What do we gain by defeating them?
We gain the
So either way we get
count
nothing.
them again. Or if it is as you say, then I suggest we should send them down, and following the tunnels out without going through the fungal jungle. We can send them through there, and then see them off away south. I'm sure they will understand that if they do not follow our laws, they cannot be in our lands.
Shakes his head and signs back. I don't see a problem with them being far to the southeast of the fungal jungle. We are never going to end up being there.
Larry frowns. As far away as possible, I would say. There's no reason to give them land that we don't need to give them. Let them go and bother the gnomes for a bit. Maybe they will give them land. Let this problem be the Gnome King's problem.
I think I agree, just sending them south towards the Gnome King. They are unlikely going to ally and attack us. That seems silly. Best case scenario, they kill each other. So yay.
It won't.
I mean, you can attempt to advise them in that direction. There's no guarantee they'll go and head towards Claddenvault and fly around and be merry or whatever. I think it's a little naive.
Yeah, it's like if they know that all this is here, they'll. It's like,
Yeah, just tell them you can settle in our territory under our protection if you agree to follow our laws and
Be our
our
subjects.
rules, pretty much. Or we
Out,
can
then
just
we will
send
direct you
south.
towards these other tunnels that lead outside of our territory. Let's be perfectly honest. The entire fungal jungle is under our control. Our meaning us and our allies, of course. If we haven't patrolled it at the moment, we will at some point. They would not be safe in here if they are not willing to act in accordance with our rules. That is the truth.
Rilinid shrugs, signing, I would think that if they did end up becoming a problem in a few decades, that we could easily deal with them. I don't know about cloaker breeding, but I can't imagine it being that vast with just 3 of them, if they're actually honest about their numbers.
I mean, if they think they can start a village with just 3 of them without a problem, then their breeding must be excessively fast.
It's possible that they just wish to be alone.
Maybe not. Then we could send them to the Lake of Diamonds.
Ah.
There are some beasts they could hunt, I'm sure.
Rilinid will actually nod at this. I like that idea.
Rain will give a half smile for a second and sign an agreement as well.
Oh, and they're being a little surprised at their agreement, sort of looks questioningly. Then nods with it. As if she knows why they agree. So it is at least outside the jungle. It is some distance away, and it is a place we're likely to go again. I don't think our last visit had many pleasant memories.
Indeed not, and if they can deal with whatever is... And if there's like a sign for like a sneer...
Sure, there is.
Rilinid
Exactly,
does
there is.
it, like haunting the lake, then perhaps these cloakers can deal with it or die in the process.
Either way, we get a win.
Well, I will not. We will then tell them they could either stay here and be our subjects in the jungle, which is claimed by us and our allies. If not, we have an alternate area for them that we have not claimed that they could make their own. She looks at them to see if they agree.
Rilinid nods.
Same with Rain.
Well, they will then turn away then, and walk back to the cloakers.
Local leader, presumably, Zara, floats down.
And everyone will look at him and say, we have talked, And it seems that you are interested in a village that will be your own, then, outside of our rule and outside of our jungle. She looks at the cloaker.
Cloak floats and say, "We will try to respect any laws you have in your area, of course. But the family is sacred to us."
Then there is another place. A place that is outside our claimed territory, where we could be allies rather than master and subject.
Rilinid will at that point motion to the map and direct the cloaker's attention to the sparkling lake, which is just west of the western entrance to the fungal jungle.
The cloaker looks at the map. Lake. Is there any prey in that area?
That's Rilinid's.
Rilinid will nod and say, "Indeed, there are a great deal. Although if fish are not quite your sport, there are numerous other creatures lurking about as well. Creatures, I assure you, which are absolutely no friends of ours, which can easily be eaten."
Cloaker seems to consider, and then flits about and says, "Very well, we agree."
Only nods. Then I would suggest the southern bank of the Lake of Diamonds. That puts you some distance from the entrance to our territory in Fungal Jungle, and makes it so that our allies will not, our people will not trouble you and go in your way. In this way, we can have each our own territory. You can have your village there, and you will not impede on our lands, and we will not impede on yours. In this way, we can have a respectful relationship and perhaps aid each other in the future if needed.
The cloaker flits about and peers down at the map and says, "We agree."
Very nice. Good then. We will speak more at a future point, I am sure.
Rilinid will hand wave at the map down there and say, "That is yours to look at if you can." Rilinid pauses and says, "It is yours."
The cloaker looks at the map and says, "Thank you, Drow of House Vytharia." It sort of lashes out with its spiked tail and sort of, takes the map. Deftly folds it and puts it in one of its strange folds in its wings.
Rilinid's thinking, "Look at that tail go."
Yeah. "It seems then that in return we should offer you something." Sort of, its tail sort of rummages around in another pocket in its wing, and pulls out this strange, it seems like a piece of tanned skin, folded up. It hands it over. "This is a map we drew of the land below as we traveled through it."
Ooh.
"A map for a map."
Real nod. And may this trade be a sign of our future dealings.
Cloaker seems to agree and says, "Yes, then for a future of cooperation."
Good luck to that.
Rilinid will actually extend his hand to take the proffered map.
Yeah. Yeah, he gets it, no problem.
Fantastic. Rilinid has a wide smirk about how awesome he is behind the mask.
Alauneari has nothing more to really say to these creatures.
Nope.
They know the way.
Now we're just gonna have to tell Tristan what the hell happened.
Yes, with that, then the cloakers will seemingly converse among themselves for like a half minute. Then I will turn to you and say, "Then, Drow of House Vytharia, we shall make haste towards the land you have indicated for us.
Alauneari will
May
nod.
good fortune find you.
Alauneari will nod and say, and you, fly high over the jungle. There are many things there who would not regard you as allies. Our territories are vast, and many creatures who live there would be threatened by the sight of you. It'll take some time before the word of your new position is reached to everyone.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, and if you flip to MapTool Earth Wound, I have given you the Hesara's map.
Look at that motherfucking beauty. Oh yeah.
Let's take a look.
Oh yeah. You're fucking welcome, Team PC.
Can't load the last picture. What is it?
Oh yeah, this is
There
awesome,
we go.
isn't it, everyone?
Oh, yeah, that's really nice, actually. Lake of Salt, huh?
Path
Uh,
of the
we
Walking
can-
Path of the Walking Madness.
Nice.
Probably not gonna go that way.
Let's go there. Let's go there. Sounds fun.
Deeper into the underworld seems to correlate with the way to Teresia.
Yes,
I
that's
wanna
correct.
I wanna walk the path
But
of
that
madness.
that path he said was broken, didn't he? It was collapsed.
But no.
No,
The Traders Road. They were talking with the Drow
Oh.
caravan.
All right. Yeah.
I imagine there's, Drow caravans like to go between all of the major cities that we've never even heard of in this campaign world.
Yep.
All right. So we shouldn't expect more. God damn it! The green place is behind all the fire.
Yeah, Realm of the Blue Ghost. That's interesting.
Oh,
That could be fucking anything, right?
Orchid Jungle.
And I am definitely not a fan of that Path of the Walking Madness. I am all for the Western path.
Well, I think I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah. Yes.
This place does not look like something we should settle ever. Let's look at the distance of this thing.
Realm of the Blue Ghost.
Well, that's what all that fungal jungle land is for, to
So-
survive the consumption.
So why exactly do we want to go here?
To find greater fortune and resources to build our empire.
If we ever need salt, we just need to walk the path of the Walking Madness and we got
Yeah,
salt.
Lake of Entire Salt. Salt is actually a valuable commodity.
Sure is.
Salt mines.
Uh-huh.
It's a good prisoner place. Or they would have to walk the Path of Madness to get back. So,
We'll see.
fund a colony.
At any rate, I think that encounter was definitely worthwhile, particularly for the map.
Oh yeah. And now
Sure,
we
it's not-
actually got them in a place where I'm happy to have them.
Yeah, I did not even think of the Lake of Diamonds. I love that. That's awesome.
I looked at the map and I thought, where would we like them? And I thought down there, because currently something could walk for past festival and get up here and mess with our dark road. But in this way, maybe in time they will grow a colony and they can sort of take that hex too, and they get a little block that way.
When I looked at it, I couldn't remember exactly if there was anything in the Lake of Diamonds to hunt, so I ignored it. But
Oh,
which
they
is
were
why I made
monsters,
it the moment I brought it up.
lots of monsters that ate all our people.
I remember there was something there, but I didn't remember exactly.
Well, while the Team PC is looking over the map that was given by Hasara, him and his cloaker, slowly float away.
Over
down
to
the-
attack us.
Yeah, over the tunnel, down the tunnels and towards the jungle.
And it's not like, we can never know for sure whether they're lying. I mean, even with my amazing sense motive, I've never fucking read an aberration's face
No,
before.
I was about to say, I don't know, they're not even going to try.
Yeah.
Is that a grin, or is it
You always look like
menacing?
that.
It looks
I don't-
menacing and threatening,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's not exactly like, it's possible that they could have had more numbers hidden, or being completely honest. If they know as much, they probably know the wonderful evils of the Drow, so they probably were holding something back. Yeah. I'm okay with it. We got a gift to reimburse us for the deaths of those guards. Wink wink.
It's a shame.
Yeah. And a map. Which is very valuable. Far more valuable than 1200.
Yep. And of course, we also now have we now have a new color to go on our main map. A bright green.
Bright green is clearly the most cloakerest of colors.
Symbol's not terrifying or anything. Look at that motherfucker. Agros!
Imagine if we tried doing trade with them and just like what the traders would think every time they go there, just like hit the trade route.
So no more traders, eh?
Yep. At a new rate, there will be some explanation for Trislan to loop her in on just what the fuck just happened.
If you ally with a cloak, they can wrap around you as a cloak and give you an extra melee attack with the tail. Yeah.
If only I could tell that to Alauneari in the metagame sense, right? Like, you don't understand.
What these could do, give these to all our troops.
Yes! Extra melee attacks for everyone. Our army can perhaps compensate for its fucking 1 hit point.
Yeah.
Anyway, after studying, Rilinid will roll the map up and say, "At any rate, I do believe this is where we part ways. I have much work to be done, and I cannot be on the road during this time. Besides, it has been far too long since I have spent any time in Varthus."
Alauneari nods and looks at the others. Then I propose we, if Rilinid can make his way back on his own, looks at him, assuming he can, that we, siblings, should go and explore the rest of the jungle. There's still a tiny bit we have not explored, and before we know what truly lies there, we cannot judge the value of the territory.
Yes, I think we should definitely go and explore.
She nods then and looks to Rilinid.
My passage back shall be no trouble.
She nods. Good. Then let us move, and go there. And I think I will join the path we're gonna.
Okay.
Yeah. Count the days, please.
Yeah. Rilinid shall separate and head back to Shave Office.
Yay.
Do we want to like use the sub to quickly dash across to save us a few days, or?
Sure.
That's saving you a few days. Definitely.
Because it's either that or can we go through that territory?
Yep. Yep.
Luckily, I know how to. Luckily, I'm very good at piloting.
Indeed.
I have plus 10 bonus points.
Yeah, you can pilot that thing with no problem these
These are
days.
the last ones.
Yeah. You don't need to draw a line through 1606 if you don't want, since that's the Pale Hunter nest. Unless you want to go fuck with Pale Hunters again.
Might as well mark it as being explored, right?
Yeah.
Well, at that point, you just erase all of the green markers on the map.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. Travel time. You can do some stuff in Varthus first, while I do some travel time calculations.
Okay.
How fast did we travel again?
Let's see, it takes you guys 3 days to fully explore each hex.
Yeah, but I meant going there.
You can just factor in a month to get there and get back,
Oh,
like we did
that
last
makes sense.
week.
That'll be fine.
That'll also allow you to stop by, say, any other sort of place along the way.
Yeah, basically where you have built roads, travel is pretty quick. But when you're not, well, you have to traverse wilderness, and that takes time.
Alright, so doing this will take us a little over a month.
A month to get back. Yeah, we'll be fine.
In that case, you guys could always just spend the rest of that time cruising around, like, the entirety of the lake and burning through fuel. But to just get
I guess we could explore lake hexes as well.
Yeah.
We can explore like
It doesn't take. I don't know like how long it takes to explore like each like lake hex. I can't imagine it taking very long with the speed the damn sub goes.
That's pretty fast. You can explore a surface hex of the water basically by spending 1 fuel.
So we can do the whole thing.
pretty much, yeah, we can zip around the whole thing.
In that case, you'll have to tell me how much fuel the deduct gets.
Let's work it out then.
Do these count as water hexes? These two?
No, those are the Isle of Seven Horns.
You count them, Dark?
Yeah, I'm going to work out the water hexes.
Sure. The number. Alright then, I suppose we will be trying to scavenge the areas we go through as well when we do it. Since we have good time.
Let's see here. Look here.